Have you ever thought of a commission type that can attract commission edit clients, earn from the small bits, reuse illustrations that you already made? It's crisis-proof and friendly to artists who are not fast. If you're from an underdeveloped country like me, you know how much the small dollar bits can make a difference and how much of an imposter you can feel if you're not earning anything. For me, the currency multiplies my earned dollars by at least 5, and that can both be wonderful and a curse. I often find myself with no commissions thinking, if only I could get a single commission right now, I could pay so many of my bills. Hi guys, I'm Sayuui, a full-time anime artist. Today, I'll present you with a commission type that feels more like a product than a service. It's the Your Character Here Commission. I recently received my first 2 Your Character Here commissions and was shocked at how easily the money came. Wait, don't leave yet. Today, I will present you the right way to do Your Character Here commissions so that you can turn them into a profitable source of income, even if you live in the US or Europe. For those who might not be familiar with this commission type, it's a type that you fit other people's OCs into an already existing base, and that base can either be a pre-existing illustration or an illustration that's made for that purpose. Hey Sayuui, I get it, but I hate Your Character Here commissions. What do you mean I have to turn my art into a one-size-fits-all BS? Listen, I understand the feeling behind not wanting to do that, but there are 3 reasons why you want to do it. First, because you can make the things you like and offer them as a commission. So if you're kind of person that gets only commissions you don't like and don't want to show anyone, this is a good way to get people who are interested in the things you like. Second, if you keep your files layers easy to manage and get the pricing right, the money that comes from that is very good and you cannot miss out on it. And third, that's an extra way to monetize an illustration that's already done. In my case, I made this cute profile pictures that people have been ordering. For a long time, I've been wondering how to make my clients order kawaii stuff from me. Even when I tried adding kawaii to my portfolio, no one would want that. Growing up, I was addicted to online dress-up games. I'm probably letting my age show through here, but I was part of the first generation of kids ever to have fun with online flash games. And for a long time, I thought of a way to replicate that feeling again and pass it to the next generations. There was one in particular that caught my eye and inspired me a lot because of the catchy palettes and the maximalist and cute vibes. The website was loi.com. I used to spend hours in it as a kid. I wanted to replicate the vibe, so I started eyedropping the color palettes and making samples based on that while using Clip Studio assets. I think an icon YCH Commission might be the perfect way to replicate the doll maker game feel while keeping that client-artist relationship. So first, for this type of commission, it's essential to get the pricing right. The first thing you need to know is that people are not willing to spend more than $60 for this type of commission, regardless of how they use it or how complex the illustration looks. So the first time is to make something for personal use that's not going to take much of your time and is worth the amount. Remember, the time you spend on samples is also an investment, so if you can make it so a single commission can pay for the time you spent working on the samples, you basically nailed it. In my case, I'm using VGEN for my YCH commissions because that's a very browsable type of commission, so it's good for commission platforms. There's also a website called YCH Commissions where you can try to sell, but people there underprice so much and I have no idea if anyone buys at all. If you use any other platforms for this type of commission, please let me know in the comments and let's help each other. In my case, I use VGEN and priced my commissions $40. I made 2 variations of square profile pictures. And since VGEN thumbnails are HD resolution, I could place both in the cover image so the client can choose the one they like the most in the form. The format also makes it easier to optimize for VGEN search since it helps to have at least 5 image samples, so I can make only 3 samples of one commission and only 2 of the other. If you want to learn more about VGEN commission optimization, check this other video of mine. For this individual commission service, I took a risk because I decided to fit my own and my friends' OCs in the icon. But there is a way to know if people are interested in your idea before trying to sell it. Again, this is not a sale, but it helps you see how many people might be interested in what you're offering and helps you make more samples before you put your service up. So first, you're going to post the illustration you want to turn into a YCH on social media, then ask your followers to drop their OCs in the comments. Then you can choose whether to turn them into samples or not. And if you post it to more than one social media and no one drops their OCs, that might be a bad sign because when it's for free, people get out of nowhere to get things, even from manholes. You can also make a Your Character Here by referencing the ones that are selling well on VGEN. I found out that spicy and sexy illustrations tend to sell pretty well there, and I think that's also less risky. Animations and seasonal your character heroes are very popular, so if that's something you can do well, definitely jump into that. You can also turn things like gesture and pose studies into YCH and sell them as such, but like I said before, it might be a better idea to take an already finished illustration to modify instead. Also, should I say you should not underprice? I wish I didn't have to say this, but some people don't understand the concept of time investment. VGEN does not promote underpriced commissions for a reason, so please remember you're working for an international market and make sure to consider the minimum wage in the US and not your home country. People do not order art out of necessity. Your art is a Gucci bag and not a bootleg one. Please remember that. Okay, so anticipating some of your problems, you guys might be doing everything right, but your YCH might not be selling well, and there are some things you have to accomplish, so let's get into why your YCH might not be selling. I snuck into my boyfriend's profile to find out why he was not selling well, and I think I know the reason. Of course, for this video, I asked him to use these images and gave him proper feedback, but I feel like I have to share some reasons in case you guys are going through the same. First, as you can see, he has this commission type that has a lot of samples, but only one of them sold. I advise him to ditch the other sketches for now and make a YCH just for this one. Of course, he would have to make more samples, but that would eliminate decision fatigue for the customers. They arrive tired from work, and the last thing they want to do is to pick what they want from a huge list. Same for this other YCH here, there are too many poses, and none of them is turned into a finished illustration. Besides, if you look at this tiny thumbnail, there is no focus, no main pose to look at. If it were me, I'd choose one pose from each of these sheets and eliminate the rest. There are some ways to optimize your profile for sales. This might be simple and even stupid, but if you're a good artist like him and you're not sharing your work while considering sales psychology, you might be wasting your potential. If you don't want me to scold you like I did with him, you can get my ebook, The Full-Time Artist Roadmap, a complete guide with mindset and good practices to avoid common pitfalls and jump straight to success in your art business. There, I explained things such as when to fire bad clients, how to avoid scams, why conventions help you less than you think, and much more, so check out the first link in the description and get it now. So, I want to remind you that even though it might seem like no one's commissioning anymore, clients don't stop wanting things just because they don't have money. Usually they go for smaller bits during crises like these, so don't lose hope and keep on creating the things you love. And AI will never scare me more than the global crisis. I think every artist should have at least one Your Character Here commission on VGEN because it's closer to a product than a service, and usually you can finish it in less than 1 hour. When your money comes into your account, you'll be surprised at how easy it is. There's something I must admit, commissions have been hard for me too, and not just for you guys. Usually by the end of each month, I have finished everything I had to do, and regardless of the hardships, I'd rather die trying to be an artist. But with the global crisis, it's been really tough lately. If you guys think I'm far established, you're deceived. I too go through lows sometimes. I've been trying multiple things, and I want to educate you guys on the things I know, because the more people know about business, the less I have to worry about someone having to undercut my work unfairly. If you're worried about AI taking commissions from you, you should watch this video next. And I hope to see you there.